Welcome to I Hate It Here, the podcast for HR and people professionals, making the hardest job in the world just a little bit easier. I'm Hebba Youssef.
This is funny and sad at the same time. I think when people sacrifice their family, when you sacrifice your family to get in good graces and that means your time. If you are staying crazy late, you're doing things when you should be with your family. And I have seen it time and time again. And when I used to see this when I worked in oil and gas, I wasn't married. I didn't have kids at the time. And I used to just think like, wow, like that's a big sacrifice. And I understand that during some projects you have to do some things, but when it's not sustainable and it goes on for a long period of time, it's crazy to me that you would sacrifice the people that you love for this company that will fire you in 2 seconds and have your job posted.
Multi-state compliance is a nightmare, but 650 makes it easy. Get instant questions to employment law questions, generate a compliant multi-state handbook in minutes, and stay ahead of changing laws with automated updates. Visit sixfifty.com to learn more. That's 650.com. New week and a new pod episode and a chance to make you laugh like you've never laughed before. And today is going to be one of those episodes. Welcome back to the I Hate It Here podcast. I'm Hebba, your host and resident hater. And one of my favorite people on this earth is joining me today. You might actually know her from previous seasons. But first, our topic of the season. Set to the tune of Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Drum roll, please. And pretend I'm doing a drum roll here. Employees just want to work without kissing ass. Ain't that the dream? And joining me today to have some fun is no other than my fellow Quit Queen, Jessica Winder. Jessica D. Winder is an HR executive known for shaking things up and empowering talent. With a no-nonsense approach and passion for positive change, she champions good trouble in people operations. As an SVP of People at Collab Software, she focuses on leadership development and unlocking potential at every level. She also leads Hidden Gem career coaching and authored The Hidden Gem Within to support career growth. A keynote speaker and startup advisor, Jessica is dedicated to driving meaningful change through good trouble and helping others build powerful personal brands. Jessica, welcome back to the pod. I don't know why I said Jessica. Jess, welcome back to the pod. I've missed you.
I have missed you too, okay? I got 2 more kids and I'm back.
You've been busy, okay? You've been busy and I have been trying not to bother you, okay?
I'm still on maternity leave. I have another month, I think.
Okay.
My team actually sent me a countdown today. They are so excited I'm back. So shout out to them because they love your podcast. But yeah, your girl, I'm on maternity leave. I got 2 new little boys that are so lovely. And actually, they are way sweeter than my girls were to me when they were little.
I love that. So that is 2 sets of twins, all under 2 years old.
Yep. So my twin girls are 20 months, and then my twin boys just turned 3 months old. So we are team no sleep, team just do what you got to do over here.
I say this all the time to you. I have no idea how you do it.
I don't either. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Every time I'm like, Jess is at it again. She's out on LinkedIn. I can't even get myself out of bed to post today.
I set a lot of stuff up beforehand. I ain't gonna lie. Like before I went on leave, I literally like had posts that I was like, okay, these are things that I could put up anytime.
I'm like, I can't do that. I need to get it together and do it, but I just like have not been able to do it, but I'll get there someday. I'm just so happy you're back because I know that I always laugh so hard during our episodes together.
You never know what either one of us is going to say.
I'm always like, oh God, is the audio team going to have to edit out all the laughter that you and I do when we record an episode together? It's like, honestly, it's like people are hanging out with us during a coffee break right now.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, well, every season, before we get to the good stuff of this episode, which I have some fun in store for us today, a game, some like really spicy questions. Before we get to that, I've been asking every guest, what's one truth about work you wish more leaders understood?
I wish more leaders understood that trust is better than surveillance and it's cheaper. If you actually just trusted your team, you wouldn't need to know how many keystrokes. You wouldn't need to look if they're on Slack. You wouldn't need to do all of these things and be like a surveillance if you trusted them. So trust is cheaper than surveillance.
I could care less about like what someone's doing as long as the work gets done.
Well, I don't care at all. I literally I did a whole TikTok on this. I do not care. Do whatever you want. Walk your dog. Take a nap. Okay, go to the doctor. I don't care. Is the work done? I don't care if you did it in the middle of the night. Just get it done.
Just get done. It's simple like that. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's one truth leaders should definitely think about.
Yeah.
Okay, but on to our topic today, which I'm very excited about. Because when I asked you what you wanted to talk about, you were like, I want to talk about employees getting work done without having to kiss ass. So we're going to start there. What does kissing ass mean to you in the workplace?
To me, I want to preface this by saying that some of the things I'm going to talk about are things that I have had to do. I have had to kiss ass before in my jobs, especially when I was an HR generalist, like just getting my footing. Like some of the things I'm going to name, I'm naming them because I did them. And so one of the things is I used to have to co-sign people's horrible decisions. I used to have to agree with them because if not, I would put a target on my back. If I didn't say, yeah, this sounds great, knowing in the back of my head how employees were going to receive it or the rollout wasn't going to be what people were expecting. I used to have to co-sign that stuff. And that is the definition of having to kiss somebody's ass, is not tell them the truth when you know that they are wrong.
Oh, yeah. There are ass kissers in the workplace that I can like just pick out. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
oh,
Oh,
oh.
yeah. You can spot them.
Yeah. And I also have had to do that in my career. And I feel just like an immense sense of privilege that I'm at a spot and work with a founder and a leadership team that I do not have to do that with.
Yeah. That's privilege. That is there is privilege in that. So I always want to acknowledge that. Like where I am now as an SVP and what I could do in the beginning of my career are totally different things. And so listen to this conversation with that in mind, that I've had to kiss ass before. And now I rail against it because I don't have to do that anymore. But I also feel bad for the people that are still in that situation.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something that I feel just so much privilege around, where I can show up and like really be my true self and tell my CEO I don't think that's a good idea, and I don't have to basically play a politics game to get by because it's just not for me. And like that hasn't always been the case though. So have you ever felt like doing good work wasn't enough to move ahead? Like when did you experience that? What did it feel like?
Yeah, this was early in my career. I was an HR business partner, and I absolutely this I would love to talk about this because it actually coincides with when I got sober. So prior to being sober, I was party girl. So I would go to the happy hours. I would do all the networking. I was out and about anytime that the employer would have an event. I was the first to be there and the last to leave. And that got me really far. When I got sober and I stopped drinking, to be quite honest, I didn't want to go to these events because it was very alcohol focused. And so I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I couldn't be there and watch everybody else in those situations. Now I'm 5 years in, I can go anywhere, be around anybody, it doesn't bother me. But in the beginning of my sobriety, it absolutely bothered me and it was a trigger. And so I stopped going to these networking things. And my boss had a discussion with me about how I wasn't being a team player anymore. And that is the definition of like, I needed to present myself in a certain way. And this person knew that I was trying to get sober and still said that I need to be coming to these events that were always held at a bar. So, like, think about that. Think about what you would be doing to me if I decided, oh, well, then I'm going to take a drink. So I absolutely have been in those situations.
Oh my God, one, thank you for sharing. I know you're very open about your sobriety journey, and I feel always honored when you talk about it because I think a lot of people, we're all just like experiencing the world in different ways. And there are a lot of people that are on the sober journey. I think like drinking culture has radically changed since the pandemic, and a lot more people are sober. But I know what you mean about the pressure of being at those happy hours to feel like, oh, I have to be liked, like my work is not going to be good enough. Let me like show up and be the fun person that then they want to go advocate for behind closed doors.
Absolutely. And like, it's like also like the inside jokes, and like, you're not there for these things that people then bring up in meetings, or they talk about, like, when you're in breaks, you're not a part of that culture anymore. And so, yeah, not being a part of that. And some of that is the kiss ass part of like, people are letting their hair down and like telling you about their lives. So then you have an inclination of who they are outside of work and you can use that. But not being a part of that absolutely was a problem for that manager.
Yeah. There have been so many situations where I feel like I've done such good work, but I've had to go do these like extra little things to like make sure that promotion really happens. And that just like makes me sad because I'm like, why do I have to do this? And so you've written a whole book about like your career, The Hidden Gem Within. I have it on my bookshelf. I think it's right, it sits somewhere. It's literally on the top. I'm like looking around for it, but I have it. It's up here.
I think I see it. So don't worry.
It's somewhere. I have it, and I gift it to people too because I'm like this could really help you. So like, what are some unwritten rules of career advancement that no one talks about, but then everyone seems to know?
Yeah. One of them that really got to me when I first started my career is like being liked gets you further than being right. So if you're trying to be right in situations where you're having to go against somebody or go against the grain, actually having people like you is honestly better. And that's so hard to hear. I once had a leader write in my performance review that I needed to be more honey like honey, like bee
No.
honeys. Yeah, because I was too abrasive. And he's like, you get more bees with honey. And I was like, say what now? And he wrote it down. He wrote it down. So that's, that is a rule. It's better to be liked than to be right. Playing the game of corporate, I've had people tell me when I'm doing career coaching, they don't want to play the game. Like, I don't want to be a part of this, that
Yeah.
it's the game is being played whether you decide that you want to participate or not.
Yep.
And if you decide not to participate, you're at a disservice to yourself. But there are levels. You can decide what level you want to play at. You know what I mean? Like, you want to be up here, you want to get into a leadership role, or you just want to get by and have people leave you alone. That's like minimum level, So the game is going to be played, but what level do you want to play? What level do you want to participate in? You got to decide that. And then visibility. We all know there's people that are super visible, but are actually not contributing. Those are the people that get promotions because people see them. They make sure that people know what they're doing. They make sure that the leadership team is aware of what they want to do next when it comes to promotions. So being visible is hyper important.
All of those just like make my soul sad.
I know they rub me the wrong way, but they're true.
I know the unwritten rules, right? Like
Yeah.
there was something about like when we started going back to the office or hybrid situations started happening, there was like this big conversation around like proximity bias, meaning like the people in the office were going to get access to more opportunities than the people that were remote. And I think that is still true because it's like that out of mind, out of sight thing. Like sometimes if people don't see the person doing the work, they think they're not doing it.
Yeah, I've absolutely been in conversations with a leadership team where we're talking about promotions. And one sticks out in my mind because it was during the pandemic and I thought this was so wrong. But the leader wanted to give this person a promotion because during COVID, she risked her life and went into the office.
No.
And he was like, that deserves an award. Like, she's coming to the office. And I was like, wait. We told people not to come to the office. And he's like, exactly. And so like, look at how dedicated she is. Think about that.
My jaw's on the floor.
Yeah.
The woman was too stunned to speak. What?
Yeah. So he wanted to give her promotion, not because her work was good, but because she physically went to the office and that showed him that she was dedicated.
Okay, I'm going to noodle on that one and we're going to come back to that. I'm going to put a pin in it because we still have so much more to cover. But okay, real talk. Is playing office politics just part of the job or is there another way to succeed?
It's part of the job. That's my honest truth. I wish it didn't have to be this way. And this is part of the reason that I am so vocal on LinkedIn and I talk about these things because I wish it wasn't true, but it is true. Politics is part of the game. And I actually know several people that have gotten stuck in whatever position they're in because they don't want to play the game. And that's a conscious decision that they've made and more power to them. But if you want to move up, you have to play.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like Jumanji, like you in the game. You in the game, you can't get out.
Not Jumanji. In the jungle, you must wait until the dice read 5 or 8. Ingrained in my mind, Jumanji. I had so much fear over that movie. I still have nightmares that are Jumanji games.
I watched that movie so many times. So corporate is Jumanji. Okay, that's it. Just take that from this podcast.
We're sucked into the game and we are playing until you escape. Okay, we're playing until we escape. I mean, that's fair. It is a game. You have to opt in. I always wish it wasn't like that. I think there are things that make the game more complicated. We'll get to that in a second. But like, what advice do you have for people who actually like hate networking or self-promotion, but like still want to be seen and recognized? Like maybe they just hate playing the game.
My thought on that is change the narrative. So go from talking about self promotion to storytelling. So, what story are you telling about the work that you're doing? So, you could be doing all this amazing work. Let's take, for example, you're an engineer. You're doing all this coding, you're doing all these things, but no one knows about it. You have to be able to tell the story of what are you doing and how is it impacting the business. And if you're not doing that, you're actually doing all the work that you're doing a disservice. So, change the way that you're thinking about it because self promotion has such a negative connotation. Whereas you're just storytelling about what you're doing, that feels different.
Yeah, I was just talking to a friend about this the other day. I just feel like as women, I have been like conditioned to not brag about my achievements and to be like super humble and I am like a super humble and grateful person. Like I'm always giving gratitude out there and like thanks for all the people who have helped me get to where I am and all my appreciation. But like some days I want to be like, yeah, I'm fucking good at this and I want to boldly say it and like
Yes.
not have people be like, ew, why is she doing that? But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like really interesting. Like that was just how we were conditioned growing up. And I feel like as an adult, I've really tried to like come into my skin and like give praise to everyone around me, but also take a moment and praise myself at times where I'm like, I'm doing a good job. Like I should really tell the story of like why it is I'm doing a good job. So it's not that people just think like I'm this like special unicorn that came out of nowhere. It's like, no, I'm doing a lot of hard work to get me there. But I think like who I am really impacted me and how I behave. So like, how do you see like race, gender, identity complicating all of these unspoken rules of advancement?
That's so hard. So, for those of you that are just listening, I am a Black woman. And so I feel like my race and my gender, also, I have like a disability. So, like, I'm super dyslexic. So, like, that, like, all of these things, have played a part in like how I see myself, how I present myself, and what I want others to see. And so, not only do you have to play the game with these things, but you have to then justify why you deserve to play the game. And so for me, that has shown up in my education, in that I feel that I need every degree, I need every certification, I need every validation to prove to you that not only do I deserve to play the game, but I can play it better than you. And so that's how it shows up for me as a person of color, is that I feel the need to prove that. Now, I've been working on that. Me and my therapist, we holding it down, we working through. I don't need to prove shit anymore. But my 20s, I definitely felt the need to prove why I should deserved or should be in the room.
Yeah, I think it like all the lived experience and the way that the world experiences us
Hmm.
does impact how like we can show up in these like in this like corporate world of like advancement. Like
Yeah,
it and I have like so much empathy for people navigating that. Like the narrative of like angry Black women makes me so upset.
yeah,
Like anytime someone's like angry, I'm like, stop talking.
yeah,
They're not angry. She's simply expressing something, or they like, you know what I mean? And I think it shows up in a bunch of data. Like Textio is one of my favorite companies. I talk about them all the time, but their performance report actually breaks down the like performance feedback given to like women versus men and then different demographic groups. And you see that there's like not good feedback that's given to, and there's a lot of like personality feedback. And I talk about that a lot because that should inform how we're thinking as HR of like the rules of advancement. I feel like there's a game, but everybody is playing by a different set of rules.
absolutely. And this goes along with the pet to threat. Like, and if someone's listening to this, they don't know what that is. It's basically like you come into an organization and you're the pet. You're almost like the show pony. I felt like this before, where they're walking me around, let everybody see the new head of HR is a Black woman, like, woo, ha, rah, 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 rah. And then once you start to question things, once you want to make change, then you're a threat. So you go from being the pet to the threat. And it normally is like a 1 to 2 year time frame of when people start to turn on you. And this is a game of the office politics. And there is a lot of research behind like women of color getting in like a C-suite or a head of role and only lasting 2 to 3 years. And this is a lot of what is happening. They go from the pet to the threat.
I need to read more about
Yes.
this.
It's a real phenomenon.
I need to take a time out. Just kidding. I'm gonna have to read more about that because that's like really interesting. I mean, I feel like I've experienced it myself. I have lots of friends who I think have also experienced it, and it's wild to me that wanting to make good change and build a better organization takes us, makes us a threat to some
Yeah,
people.
absolutely.
I guess that's just how it's going to have to be, and we'll dismantle it day by day. Um, And now for a brief interlude where I wish I could play fun music like beep, boop, 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 boop. We're going to actually play a game. I've been doing this a lot lately on some of my episodes. I've been really inspired by this like improv type show that my sister and I have been watching called like Make Some Noise. And so I've been trying to like incorporate more fun games on the podcast, which is just like fun and weird because I am fun and weird. But I want to play this game called Who Said It? Corporate Politician or Real Leader? And here's the game. The game is simple. I'm going to read you a quote. It's a made up one. And I want you to guess if it's said by a corporate politician, like somebody who's all about playing the game, cares about their image and optics, or maybe a real leader, someone who actually leads with authenticity, integrity, and substance. And I'll reveal the answers afterwards. So are you ready, Jess, to play my game?
I'm ready. Let's
I'm
do
holding
it.
you hostage, Jumanji style, but instead it's Who Said It? Corporate politician. Okay. The first quote is, let's circle back offline to synergize and align on next steps.
This is a politician, honey, because they said nothing. Okay? Like politicians do. Said nothing. Said nothing.
That was my classic buzzword salad and literally no value. That was a corporate politician. You were right. Ding, ding, ding. You were correct. Okay, the next quote. My job is to make sure I'm not the smartest person in the room, and that is exactly why I hired you.
Oh, that sounds like something you would say, a real one, okay? A real leader. That's a Hebba quote.
Not me, but it's been like variations of this have been like famously said by the CEO of Microsoft and other people out in the world, and it is a real leader. A real like, I mean, I've also said it too. Like, if I'm the smartest person on my team, we have failed.
Yeah.
I got to go find someone smarter, to be honest. Okay, this next one, visibility is more important than actual results.
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like whoever said this was trying to help somebody. They're trying to help somebody. Because that's almost what I just said.
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say a real leader.
Ooh, okay. So this one was, I tagged it as corporate politician, but we can actually agree to disagree on this. And that's what makes our friendship so fun. I do feel like the reason I said corporate politician is because, you know, those people in the office that are just like, everyone needs to pay attention to me and they need to see me CC'd on every email. And I need to be the first person to answer everything, blah, 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 blah. And that's more important than actual results. I feel like a real leader would be like, I don't care if you're visible in certain conversations. I care that you're producing actual results.
Yeah. I feel like I would coach somebody on this. Like, you need to be visible, like get the work done, but you need to be visible doing it.
Yeah. I think it's like that give and the take of like, yes, we want actual results, but also like you can't be invisible when you're doing actual results.
Exactly.
Okay. Next one. Culture isn't what you say, it's what you tolerate.
Oh, that's a real leader. Okay. What you tell me. Okay, who is being written up, who's on a pip, and I can tell you the culture.
I love that. Or tell me like who your biggest asshole is. If I say who's your biggest asshole and you instantly think of someone,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Especially if they're on the leadership team, that tells me all I need to know.
That tells me everything. I don't want to work there. Ding, ding, ding. You were correct. Okay, the last prompt of our game. I'm really struggling with words today. We need to manage up, play the game, and get our wins where we can.
No, sit down, politician.
I feel like the way I delivered these two was just like you could tell.
Okay, I mean, I'm getting your improv on.
I feel like I should be an actress some days. I'm like, could I be a funny voice actress? Animated movies? I don't know. Mm-hmm. That was a corporate politician. You are correct. Play the key there was play the game.
Yeah, play the game or manage up. That's all I need to know.
And get our wins where we can. It's always really funny. Sometimes like I really dig in and like listen to what people are saying in meetings. Mm-hmm. And I am like, you are saying nothing.
Oh yeah, nothing.
If the person is saying nothing and they just want to speak, that is like corporate politician 101.
Okay, so this is a fun trick. If you're in a meeting, okay, now you cannot be the person that needs to be engaged or all that stuff. But if you're in a meeting and you just write down what somebody says, I'm talking about word for word, when they're doing this political bullshit, and put it in ChatGPT and ask them, what did this person just say? I have had ChatGPT giving me so many crazy responses because I have put it in there. What did this person just say to me? And it'll say, error. Don't know.
Yeah, yes. It's probably like nothing. They're saying absolutely nothing.
I'll say translate this to me like I'm a sixth grader, and it'll be like, yeah,
And they're not
can't.
saying okay. I'm dead. Okay, well, that concludes our game. And if I had fun air sirens, they would be playing right now. You clearly win. You understand it. Thank you for playing Who Said It. You win a free compliment from yours truly to be redeemed whenever you want.
Love. I'll text you. Don't worry.
That's the prize. I'd be giving you compliments every day anyways, okay?
You do.
They're for free. You don't have to just play the game to get them. Is it just me, or does multi-state HR compliance feel impossible to keep up with? 650 is here to help. With 650, you can generate handbooks, hiring paperwork, separation agreements, and more that's compliant in all 50 states. As laws change, your documents update automatically. Consider it your secret weapon for staying compliant without losing your mind. And with 650 AI, you can ask employment law questions in your own words and get quick, reliable answers without all the legalese. No more hunting down state law information, no more outdated policies, just peace of mind. Visit 650, SIXFIFTY.com to see why HR teams love 650. That's 650.com. Okay. I feel like we played a game. Now we're in the zone. I want to ask some spicy questions, which like it's you, it's me. We have our spicy takes. Maybe we'll end up on LinkedIn Lunatics again. I still haven't received that honor. I'm hoping someday to make it there.
Oh, they'll come for you. Don't worry.
Please come find me, LinkedIn Lunatics. I'm waiting for you. Okay, spicy question number 1. What's the most ridiculous thing you've seen someone do to get in the boss's good graces?
This is funny and sad at the same time. I think when people sacrifice their family, when you sacrifice your family to get in good graces and that means your time, like you are staying crazy late, you're doing things when you should be with your family. And I have seen it time and time again. And when I used to see this, when I worked in oil and gas, I wasn't married. I didn't have kids at the time. And I used to just think like, wow, like that's a big sacrifice. And I understand that during some projects you have to do some things, but when it's not sustainable and it goes on for a long period of time, it's crazy to me that you would sacrifice the people that you love for this company that will fire you in 2 seconds and have your job posted. And so I personally, now that I am married and now that I do have 4 kids, I absolutely refuse. It'll never happen. Fire me. I don't care. You will not get my time that I'm supposed to be with my girls or like, you know what I mean? Like with my boys or with my husband, like I will not sacrifice my family on the altar of this corporation. It'll never happen.
Yeah, one time I missed my grandpa's funeral because my boss wouldn't let me take off.
No, absolutely not.
It was heartbreaking. Like
Yeah.
my mom and my sister went and I couldn't go. And they got to see they actually like went when he was sick and then he passed a few days later. So my mom got to see him again. But I remember being like so upset that I couldn't go. My boss was like, you can't take time off. We're in the middle of like a busy project season. Sorry.
Yeah. No. I think I know that you and I laugh a lot. Like this is the saddest part to me about corporate life.
Yeah.
Is that you can sacrifice everything and then still be treated as a disposable number on a sheet and be put on a layoff list or be like let go or restructuring, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Like when you're making these decisions, like it's not worth it.
It's really not. I hope you hear. Like, I know that's, again, I talk about this a lot. It's a privilege to be able to get there. But once you do, I think your outlook on work and life and why you show up just dramatically changes.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, now on to our next spicy question. We just had a serious moment. These are meant to be like funny and light jokes. I'm like about to cry. Okay, sorry. If promotions were based on actual skill, how many execs do you think would still have their jobs?
Honey, 0.0001%. Just like, you know what? The likelihood of having 2 sets of twins back to back naturally, I looked it up because it happened to me, is 0.006. That's the percentage of people that would be leaders.
I love that. All right, you heard it here first. We made up our own stats, but they seem very spot on.
Yeah, okay. That's the percentage right there.
That made me cry. Okay, sorry. What's your personal red flag for spotting a corporate suck up in the wild?
Okay, so you're out in the corporate jungle and you see someone who is very visible, but the work is never done. Okay. They always got to circle back. Okay. They always need to take it offline. They never have ever presented a finished product. They always still need more feedback from X, Y, and Z. There they go. There they go.
There's your red flag. There's your red flag.
Yeah.
Spot them. Please, I'm hoping anyone listening to this, if you're listening to this and you're like, I can think of a few people, please DM us.
Tell me what it is.
We'd like to hear your story. We'd like to hear your story firsthand. Okay, this next one. So you and I are quite vocal on LinkedIn. We have our fun. We're just posting. We're out there, you know. Is LinkedIn just one big kiss-ass arena with better filters?
It definitely is. It is. It is a kiss ass arena. That's why I'm there. Okay. You know, I play the game. Okay. You're learning from an expert. I know how to play the game. This is why I'm a career coach, is to teach people how to play the game. But I do think that there's a place on LinkedIn. Like there's a difference between the like look at me content and the like let me tell you how to get where I'm getting. Um, One of the things that I personally pride myself on is that I'm not a gatekeeper. I will pull the ladder for you. I will hype you up. I will do whatever I can to get you to where I am because I don't want me to be the only person that is in the room that looks like me. And so that's why I started my business. But on LinkedIn, there's a difference between those people that are posting and it's, you know, like a sexy selfie, but they're talking about promotions or whatever the fuck they're talking
Sexy
about.
selfie.
And
Like,
then
I
the
could
next thing,
never.
yeah, like it never ties together. But then the person that's like, let me show you how I got here and here are the steps and this is what you could do and this is what to do in this situation. And then a lot of times when I post that type of content, people DM me and I always give them feedback. Always.
I love that. I mean, I'm more worried, first of all, that people are posting sexy selfies on LinkedIn.
Oh, they do, honey. They love it. The algorithm loves it too, though. I ain't gonna lie. Because I have been told by several people if I wanted to grow my content that I should post more photos of myself. And I'm not above it. Okay.
Really? Should I be posting more pics of myself? Should I be? Should I be posting more pics of
Listen,
myself?
it's a whole game plan. Go on your LinkedIn right now and see what it's about.
I would like to
That's
be
some
very
people's
clear.
plan. Yeah.
I will not be posting sexy selfies of myself.
Listen, the difference is that you and I are writers. Like we actually like to write.
Yeah.
These are people that don't want to write. They just want the followers.
Also, at least you're photogenic, Jess. I'm so awkward in every
Whatever,
picture of me
beautiful, you're
taken known to
fine.
man. Every
Whatever.
picture taken of me known to man, I'm like, what do I do with these hands? In the pocket, out of the pocket, across
Hands
my
just
whole
everywhere.
What am I doing? I'm watching TikToks on how to pose and I'm still bad at it. So
I'm not gonna lie, I have been making my husband watch these TikToks of how to pose as a couple, and he hates it.
you're like, Aaron, homework for you. You need to
like, look at this. This is what you need to do. And he's like, I'm not doing it.
You need to learn to pose. Okay, you heard it here first. Pro tip: post sexy selfies on LinkedIn. I'm just kidding. Please, that is not. I'm not endorsing that.
Tag me if you do.
Yeah, tag me if you do, because I really need to see what's going on out there in these streets. I'm clearly not. My LinkedIn strategy is just chaos. I act like it's Facebook half the time. I'm commenting on people's posts, LOL, commenting I love you. Like
Listen, I like fine emojis. Okay.
I'm playing a different game on LinkedIn. Y'all are playing sexy selfies. I'm playing unhinged kooky aunt.
Listen, you're giving it. You're giving it.
It's the vibe I'm playing on LinkedIn. But, you know, maybe I'll just identify some sexy selfies. My takeaway from today. Okay, wait. Moving on, because I feel like I could really do a whole episode on LinkedIn sexy selfies, but I don't think that's workplace content, so I should stop. Do you think some leaders confuse loyalty with yes man energy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And there's a difference between, I've heard this before about being loyal to the company and then being loyal to a leader. And as we know, once you get into like these C-suite positions, a lot of times when you get a new, like, you know, chief of whatever, they bring people along with them. So they already have people that sometimes they bring with them that are loyal to them. And that's why they want them in those roles versus being loyal to the company. So a lot of people get that very much confused. And mind you, I am one person that there's only one person out of my whole career that I would hitch my wagon to hers. If she goes somewhere, she calls me, I'm coming. Let's go. Shout out to Megan at Refine Labs. Absolutely adore her. She was my boss while I was there. She was COO. Now she's CEO. She's fire. Where she goes, I would follow her anywhere. Anybody else? I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Anybody
I
else?
have to really think about it.
It's not right.
But like seriously, like, so you have to know who are you being loyal to. So I was always very clear. I would be loyal to her, not necessarily like the company name wasn't what I was loyal to. And then the whole like, I need to fall on the sword for your leader. Sometimes that's, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Sometimes, you're going to take the fall for some stuff.
Yeah. I just think like I have such low energy for being a yes man.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I get the opposite feedback where my CEO is like, you say no too often. And I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to work on that. But it's so interesting to me that people confuse that with loyalty because like loyalty is like the person probably wants the best for you. And I don't necessarily think a yes man wants what's best for you. It's more they want what's best for them. They want to say yes to make you happy with them.
It's a fear thing to me. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're scared to tell the truth. I don't want my team to tell me yes if they mean no. Like, tell me what's really going on. Don't let me sit here and look crazy. And you
Yeah.
knew that this could go wrong. So, yeah, that's kind of based out of fear.
Yeah. If it was like, if it's a stupid idea, I want to know it's a stupid idea.
Yeah.
If I
Like,
don't
tell me to my
disagree,
face, please.
I mean, my CEO jokes, like you can usually tell my thought on my face because I'll just be like,
Yeah.
when he starts like coming over, I'm like, he can like usually tell. So I should probably
Like the
control my
squint
face.
eyes.
Yeah.
Mine
Like he
is
knows
like a
I'm about
little
to be like,
smirk.
but
Mm.
that's, I don't really think that's going to work for us. So I don't think I could ever be a yes man. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm practicing trying to say no less. So there's that. That should tell you everything about me. Okay. That also concludes our spicy question segment. I hope those were fun. I feel like I learned a lot. I need to work on my sexy selfie game, obviously. I'm not letting this one go. Like I need to go to some thought exploration on LinkedIn because like clearly I'm leaning into kooky art and while
Listen,
everyone else is doing sexy selfies.
when we're done with this, I'm gonna text you some stuff so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
Great. I need some inspiration for my sexy selfies. Okay. This next part I would just like to call closing time. I always like to end with like futuristic advice, like fun things to keep people motivated after they've listened to this episode. So I want to start with a big question. If you could rewrite the rules of career advancement, what would you change first?
I think the first thing I would change is to be honest with people, to tell them the truth to their
Mhm.
face and actually pretty quickly. If it's not working, I would rather you tell me the truth and tell me what I need to do better. So, speaking of Megan, that I would hitch my wagon to, one of the things she told me when during a performance review that was like, "Hey, you need to learn the business better." And she was the first person that ever said that to my face. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she gave me several examples that were really funny because she would be like, when you are not interested in something, the way that you disassociate in your face is like so quick and so real, and everybody in the room knows that you're not interested in what the person's saying. And I was like, oh, I couldn't say anything because it was so true. Like when I'm not interested, I'm like, oh, like I'm over here dreaming about puppies and rainbows. Like I'm not listening to you anymore. And she pointed it out to me, and that was the first time anyone had ever said that to me in that way, where I was like, I receive what you're saying and I need to do better. So I wish we could just tell people the truth. And a lot of times the corporate game is based on a facade. It's based on that we all need to be a facade and be a cis white male and get as close as you can to proximity to acting and being like that. And then you can play the game. I said what I said.
And no notes. I was making a funny face, and people listening to us were like, "What are these two doing?" But I have no notes. I feel like that's very true. It's all
Yeah.
made up. I just feel like we are play acting in
Yeah.
corporate America,
It's
and
cosplay.
I wish more people understood. Actually, one of my favorite things that you have ever said, Jess, is On the note
I
of
know what
cover
you're about to
letters,
say.
and you know what I'm
Yeah.
about to say because I literally think about it at least once a month and I giggle to myself. Jess once posted about cover letters and said, I'm not reading your fanfic that you're writing to work here. And
Yeah.
I
That's
am
what
dead.
it is. It is fan fiction.
As someone who reads a lot of fanfic, I can concur a cover letter is fanfic. Okay. It's
Yeah,
fanfic for a
it
fictional
is.
place you want to work.
It
But that
is.
made me die laughing every time. I mean, that the career advancement thing, I love that you touched on like being honest though, because what else I think happens is like people are so afraid to be honest that they then like fabricate this career path that's like not
Mhm.
even there. It's like
Mhm.
if we told our employees, hey, there are no promotions because we don't have a business need. Like everyone just thinks promotion should happen. And I'm like, if the business does not have a real need to give you a promotion, we are not giving you a promotion.
Mhm.
There's not endless levels in this company. There's not endless, like, we don't, if there's no need, I'm not doing it. But I wish more managers would have that honest conversation instead of tricking me into convincing me that if I work harder, set bigger and badder goals every quarter, that I'm going to get that promotion.
Yeah. Even to your question before about the number of leaders that, if they didn't play the game correctly would be leaders, it's not the experts or the people that are best at doing XYZ that make it to the top. It's the people that can do some of that, but can play the game even better. And that's the sad truth.
Okay, well, we have to end on a happy note. Jess, we can't end with a dark too. It's okay. What is your message to the employees who feels stuck because they refuse to kiss ass?
First of all, I respect you. I do. I respect you. If you are out here just being like, I refuse, I have nothing but respect for you. But what I will say is, what will it cost you? So, what will you deciding that you're not going to play the game cost you? And is it worth it to you? So, for me in my early career, I was like, you know what? I'm willing to do what I got to do to make it to the next level. Now, mind you, I always had a plan and there was always a timeline to this plan. So I was always moving and grooving. Like I'm moving to the next stage, I'm moving to the next company, I'm moving to the next level. And so I was aware of that. Even if the person that I had to pretend to like or pretend to agree with wasn't realizing it, I was playing them just as much as they were playing me. So that is what I would say. You don't have to get played, but you do have to play the game.
Yeah, you don't have to get played. So it's really funny you say that because I think of some of the most unhinged career advice I've given. I actually think you need to come back for another episode called Unhinged Career Advice, and we just give out wild career advice.
You should have people write in there what they want and then like us just give them advice. Let's do it.
Oh my God, let's do that. I love that. What career advice do you want? And then we'll come back for another episode. We'll
Yeah.
do that. I'm already going to make that happen. Okay. But some of the most unhinged career advice I think I've ever given was I had a direct report and she just like did not get along with our boss. It just, my direct report, but did not get along with our boss. I literally called her one day and I was like, listen, you do amazing work. Like, honestly, without you, I would be a mess without you. And I said, but what I really need you to do is I need you to win the Academy Award for Best Actress. And she was like, what? And I was like, I need you to pretend to like this person and get along with them because I'm being put in an uncomfortable spot where I might have to pick between you and her, and she is our boss, and I can't pick you. And I said, you do great work. You just don't like her and you make it clear. And I was like, if you could just show up to work and pretend to like this person and win the Academy Award for Best Actress in a motion picture movie, I would deeply appreciate it. I had, as her manager, I had no advice to give her on her work product. It was simply just a clash of personalities. And I was like, I cannot be put in this position because I'm going to have to make a hard decision. And I need you to stay here just as much as I know you want and need this job. Please, please, please be an actress for the next few months.
Yeah. You don't have to believe it. That's what I would say. Like, you don't have to actually like the person. Okay. You just got to play the game. Don't get played, play the game.
I love that. Okay, so we made the topic employees just want to work without kissing ass.
Mhm.
Do you think we answered all the questions correctly? Is there anything else you want people to know about not having to kiss ass? Like you can play the game without kissing ass.
No, I mean, I really think you can play the game and be authentic to yourself, decide what you want to do and where you want to go with it. And like I was actually, the last thing I would say is about give yourself a timeline. So you can put up with something for a limited amount of time, I believe. Like I can grin and bear it for this X amount of time. And that is how I navigated my career. Like I'm going to do this for a year. I'm going to do this for however long I have to. And then I'm moving on to the next thing, whether that's here or somewhere else. And so that would be my advice if you're in a situation where you're having to take it up a level, or it's gotten to the point where you just can't do it anymore with this person. Give yourself a timeline.
Love that. That's great advice to end on. I mean, this whole season we're talking about like what employees really want. And I feel like playing the game and having to kiss ass are just like, there's sometimes distractions. Like we all have to play the game. We agreed on that like very early on in the episode. It's the kissing ass part or having to like go above and beyond to like make someone feel special just so you can get the promotion or the acknowledgement you want that I think is just distracting. And I come back to it like, just be honest with your employees about what's possible and what's not. And the more clarity you can give them, the better work they can do. Everyone always thinks like, ooh, don't tell them that there's no promotions, or ooh, let's be mysterious about this. We're not solving mysteries at work, okay? You want them to come to work and know exactly what they're doing. They are not Nancy Drew. Let them know what they're doing. This is not a mystery of how do I get to the promotion. My
You are
favorite
not
like
Olivia
fun,
Pope, okay? Just put the document in a PDF and send it.
just tell them what they have to do. Okay. Just tell them what they have to do. It's so funny because one of my favorite like fake Nancy Drew titles is like Nancy Drew and the mystery of the missing fucks. Cause I'm like, yeah, that's, I have no fucks givens. Like it just made me laugh every time. But I mean, that's just like what I would say about this episode. Like this whole season, I'm talking about like what employees really want and need and work. And I think this piece is like lost so often. It's like they're not trying to solve mysteries at work. You want them to show up and do good work. Just tell them what they need to know.
Yeah. And part of this is not having to kiss ass, is having a good leader.
Yeah.
That it all comes back to having a good leader. I know my team's going to listen to this. I hope they would say they don't have to kiss my ass. Because like,
My team
I
doesn't
just
listen to
hope
it.
so. My team don't. But I say that to say it's because I trust them. And so this goes
Yeah.
back to the very first thing that I said. Trust is better than surveillance. And so you shouldn't have to kiss ass if your leader trusted you.
Yeah, that's a good point. Also, if you're like me and Jessica and you just lack the ability to kiss ass now in your life, welcome.
Oh yeah, honey. I want my husband's dreams to come true because he gonna have to financially support us pretty soon. Like I'm okay. I'm leaning towards retirement.
You're like, I'm out. I've done too much already. This
Okay.
job.
My
This
ass kissing days are over.
career. This career. I mean, but it is tough though when you're in HR and you have to get
Yeah.
everyone to like your ideas and
Mhm.
you're caught between this like, how do I influence but not
Yeah.
be a suck up?
Politicians really have nothing on HR managers. I think there are several HR managers that could be great politicians, honey. Okay. They would be
No,
out here for the people.
Timothy Taylor tried. Like, no, sorry. That's a podcast for another day. I could not do it. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
just telling a friend the other day, this would be me as a politician. Please give me your money. I can't do anything, but I will certainly go fight for them. But no change will happen.
I would be like homegirl that was like, send me your money and I'm gonna keep 20K. But like
But I just should not be an elected official, to be
yeah,
very
people tell me
clear.
all the time, they're like, you should run for like a local office. I'm like, first of all, I got a mugshot, so that's not cute. I don't want to do that. Like,
First of all, I'm not interested in doing
yeah, like
that.
first of all, I would, you know what? But you know what I would do? I would rebrand that mugshot. I would have it as a on my campaign trail.
Free lessons I learned. Yeah, I feel like I would
Yeah,
relate
like
to that.
starting from the bottom. Now we here.
Oh my God, that would be the most. You heard this campaign slogan here first on the I Hate It Here podcast. She's announcing her run for office.
And don't
Jessica,
be
do you
trying
want
to
to
go
hear
look up my
everyone?
mugshot. Okay, you cannot find it. Okay.
Can we look it up? I was like, can we look it up?
Okay, I'm
I,
done. I've said
I,
too much.
I love you so much. And you're just literally just, you're one of the most authentic people on this fucking earth. I feel grateful to like be in your energy, be in your orbit, be anywhere near you. I just feel an immense sense of gratitude. You just make life so much more fun.
This was amazing. I love being on the podcast. Have me on anytime I'm ready. Let's do it.
You're my unofficial co-host. You were
Yes.
gone for one season because you were, I don't know, giving birth to your second set of twins under 2 years old. You were busy.
Yeah, I was a little busy, but I'm back now. I'm back. Okay, back and better than ever.
I love it. Okay, well, I always put everyone's info in the show notes, but if anyone wants to find you, LinkedIn, Jessica D. Winder, what else?
Yeah. I would say go buy my book. Yeah. Go on Amazon, The Hidden Gem Within, buy the book. I have 4 kids to feed. Thanks.
That's all for today's episode of Chaotic Things that I'm sure someday will get us canceled once this audio is leaked. Thank you so much. If you liked this episode, you can subscribe, and I don't know, do something to follow this, I guess. See you next week. Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Keep up with all the latest HR resources by subscribing on Apple, Spotify, Google, or wherever you listen. And if you love I Hate It Here, tell an HR friend. I'll see you next time.